Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And in this video, I want to talk about how to set goals that drive success in your business. If you're an entrepreneur or business owner or an executive, this video is for you. Everybody talks about having big goals. Many people don't set big goals. Many people don't set goals at all. And many people don't even put thought into how to set goals and why you should set goals. So, in this video, which I think is extremely critical to CEOs, entrepreneurs, and business owners, I'm going to discuss exactly that. Why you should be setting goals, how to set goals, and tips and examples of goals that you should be setting as an entrepreneur. Okay? So, why should you set goals? Right? So, number one, it helps with clarity and focus. As they say, if you don't have a if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there, right? So a lot of people are busy in their entrepreneurial ventures, they're busy in their business, but they're not productive. And it's because they're not aiming at anything, right? They just get up every day and they do the same thing again and again and again. It brings in mediocre results. They're not setting a clear goal, so there is no focus, right? So the number one reason why is it helps with clarity and focus. Number two, it provides motivation and a sense of direction. Again, back to any road will take you there if you have nowhere to go, right? So if you want to be motivated every day, you have to get up and be aiming at something. Number three, it provides a measuring tool, and it makes you understand if you're actually making progress towards something, right? And number four, it encourages accountability. So, these are the reasons why you should be setting goals for yourself. You should always be looking forward to something, right? And now we're going to talk about how you can create strong goals. So, if you haven't heard about this before, it's called the SMART framework, okay? And SMART, SMART, stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So we're going to talk a little bit about the SMART framework in each section. So let's start with specific, right? When you're setting your goals, you want all your goals to be SMART goals. The first letter in this acronym, S, is specific. So you want to be very crystal clear. Instead of saying, I want more customers, say, I want to gain 50 new customers. Right? Be very specific, or even more specific is, I want to gain 50 new customers by June. Okay. And at the very end of this video, I'm going to give you a tip and trick that most people miss when it comes to setting goals, right? Even in the SMART framework that most people talk about, they always miss this. Okay. So, number one, be specific. Number two, measurable. Define exactly how you're going to track the progress, right? Numbers, timelines, milestones, right? So if you just say, I want more customers, and I give you one more customer, well, congratulations, you hit your goal, right? But that wasn't the goal. The goal was probably 50 customers, 100 customers, or as many customers as it takes to double revenue, right? But if you're not specific, about your goal, then anything that you do will feel like it's making progress. So I had a great interaction with Tony Robbins, the famous motivational speaker and life coach and executive coach. And he asked everybody in the audience, he said, who wants to make more money? And everybody raised their hand. And he said, whose goal is it to make more money? And everybody raised their hand, right? And he pulled somebody from the crowd and he goes, what's one of your goals related to money? And the lady said, I want to make more money. And he pulled out $1 and he gave it to her and he said, congratulations, you reached your goal. Go sit down. You're done, right? Your goal is done. So that was an example of not being specific enough, right? He wasn't specific enough. And you really couldn't measure it, right? What's more? More was $1, right? So make sure you're specific and you're measurable, right? So numbers, timelines, milestones. When does it happen? How does it happen? Are important. So that's SM. Now A, achievable. While it's great to dream big, make sure your goals are realistic given within your resources and within a certain time frame. Now this is important because you want to be able to create momentum, and momentum comes from doing and accomplishing. I always use the example, when kids start playing baseball, they start them on T-ball and they put the ball on the tee and they let the kid hit it. And the reason they do that is because if you threw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball to a 5-year-old, he would crap his pants and he'd never play again. It's not possible for him to hit the 90-mile-an-hour fastball, right? So because he couldn't hit it, he'll quit before he can ever understand if he's good or not at it. So make sure your first few goals are achievable, that you can crush them. I rather you set a goal for 10 and get to 11 then set a goal for 15 and get to 11, right? Even though you hit the same number, the latter part, when you set that goal for 15 and you only got 11, will crush your momentum. Meanwhile, if you set the goal for 10 and you hit 11, your momentum is going to feel super strong and you're going to keep going. So make sure your goals are achievable. Number four, make sure they're relevant. The R in SMART, right? Your goals should align with your overall business vision and priorities. So check your goal list, check your to-do list. Is it relevant? Is it making strides towards what you eventually want to happen in your business? A lot of people, because they don't set goals, they write down this to-do list. And if they actually ever check the to-do list versus what they want to accomplish in life, where they want their business to be, who they want to be personally, it probably is not even relevant to those things. They'd cross off most of those things. So make sure your goals are relevant to exactly what you're trying to do. Okay. And the last one for SMART goals is time bound. Give it a deadline. It has to have a deadline. A goal without a time frame is just a wish, right? So if you say, I want to get 50 more customers, but you don't put a timeline on it, then you can run through the year, you can run through the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Not only does it not matter that you're getting new customers, but you didn't give it a timeline. There's no sense of urgency. So it doesn't matter. Okay. So that's the SMART framework. Now, I want to get to the thing that I told you I was going to get to at the end now, because I think it's important. Once you set the goal, next to the goal, set the action steps necessary for the goal. So, for example, a lot of people set the goal, I want 50 more customers in 60 days, or I want to make $10,000 more in 90 days, right? Fantastic goal. It's smart, it's relevant, it's time bound, it's achievable, it's measurable, it's specific, right? But what's the problem? Looking at that goal doesn't tell you exactly what to do. I realized this early in my career, right, where I said, I want to double my revenue next year. And then next year would come and my revenue didn't double, right? Now I did the things that I'm about to tell you, which are tips for setting strong goals, right? But what I didn't do was write action steps. Action steps. So we're going to come back to that. But make sure you're writing down action steps next to your goal. And we'll get back to that in a little bit right here after we talk about some tips for setting your goals, okay? So I got 5 tips here for setting strong goals, okay? Number 1, write them down. This is the most powerful thing you can do for any goal you have in your life. Write it down. Studies show that the more you write down your goals, it increases the likelihood of achieving them. I write my goals down every day. I try to write them down in the morning and at night. I have a little journal that I keep, and I start a new journal every single month, and I write my goals down at the beginning of the journal. I write my goals down at the end of the journal, and as much as I can, I write them down every single day. And then I audit them, by the way. I look, are they SMART goals? Do they have action steps? What are the things I need to do to get these goals done? But writing them down is the most effective because what it does is it reiterates to your brain, it puts it in a physical format. It starts mentally, it comes out into the real world in the form of paper, and then eventually it becomes reality because you constantly have it in front of your face. You're constantly thinking about it. You're becoming obsessed about it because you're actually writing it down. So write it down. This is one of the most powerful things. Now, if if you don't write them down every day, if you're not that obsessed, I still guarantee that writing them down will help you get to them faster than you would. So here's a challenge for people that don't think they're going to write them down. Write down the goals you want to get done in the next 5 years. Fold them up, put them away, put them somewhere in a drawer. Come back and check them in 5 years. Let me know in the comment section below what happened. I guarantee you it's something amazing. Okay. Number 2, break them down into milestones. Okay. So, for example, if your goal is to make $120,000 in revenue in the year, break it down into monthly or quarterly figures. It makes it easier to swallow. Okay. Number 3, review them regularly. I like to write them down regularly, but if you're not writing them down, business priorities can change. Revisit your goals every month or every quarter and make adjustments. It's okay to change your goals. What's not okay is to not have goals in the first place. And then share them with somebody. I would say share them with a mentor, somebody that can help you and hold you accountable. Is make a huge difference. I share them with everybody. That's why I'm on YouTube. I like to share my goals. I want to build great companies. I want to build the biggest companies in the world. I want to help public companies grow. I want to help entrepreneurs make more money. These are my goals, right? So I share them with as many people to hold myself accountable and for other people to hold me accountable. Some people have trouble sharing them with close family and friends, generally because they have a lot of questions more than they have answers or positivity. So if you're not comfortable with doing that, find a good mentor that you can share them with, right? And then for my last tip for setting goals, celebrate the small wins. Celebrate these wins. I had a really hard time with this at the beginning of my career. I was in the hustle culture mindset. I was always working, always working, always working. And what happens is you eventually lose steam. And it gets to be a lot to just work, 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 work. And where's the celebration, man? Right? So now I celebrate weekly, right? Every week I celebrate that I made it through the week. I celebrate the things that I did right. And each step forward in my journey deserves recognition, right? So when I get that new client, yes, I'm not saying I go and throw a parade or take a week off, right? My wins are relative to what goals I accomplished, but I do celebrate them because it helps me stay motivated. It helps me with the momentum, right, going forward. Now, back to my number one tip that I think most people miss, which is set an action step next to the goal. I want to make $1 million is a great goal. It is not an action step, right? An action step would be make 1 million phone calls to 1 million potential customers. I guarantee you'll make $1 million. Guaranteed, right? A goal could be, get 1 million followers on social media, right? And an action step would be post and engage every day, 10,000 times a day, right? I guarantee you, if you do that for 5 years straight, you're going to get 1 million followers. So write down the action step. First, write down the goal, put a line down the paper. And on the other side, what are the action steps that are going to get me towards that goal? Those are the things you're going to look at every day and focus on. If you focus on those things, I guarantee you your goals will come to you faster than they would if you just wrote them down. I'm not saying that they won't come to you if you write them down, but if you write down the action steps and you take some time to step back and say, okay, how do I get this goal, right? Ask a friend, ask a mentor, ask AI. That will help, okay? Some examples of strong goals: increase your website traffic by 15% each month for the next 6 months. Great business goal for a client, right? Get 15% more followers on social media every month for the next 6 months. Great goal. Great goal. Launch a new product by the end of the year with at least 100 units sold in the first month. Very specific. Great goal, right? Save $10,000 for a marketing campaign by December 31st, right? Great goals. These are very specific, strong goals that you can have, right? So to wrap it up, set clear goals, set strong action plans. These are one of the most powerful things that you can do to grow your business. And start by defining them as SMART goals, breaking them down into milestones and revisiting them regularly. Okay? I'd love to hear what you guys think about this video. I'd love to hear about your goals. Please put them in the comments section below. Put your links to your websites if you want to get more traffic, right? And tell me your stories about setting goals and how you hit your goals or how you missed your goals and what you learned in the comments section below. If you thought this video was helpful, share it with a friend, and I'll be back on the next video.